There we go. Those choirs turned out awesome. All right, let's walk through some of the drums on this track because there is a lot going on foundationally. So we have a couple things happening all at once. So this kick and snare is kind of the main rhythm structure of the track that everything else is built around. And then we just have a lot of filler, some marching drums and reverse snares and some other layers and noise layers and stuff like that, percussive layers. But it really is foundationally here. Underneath that, we also have some filtered drums that are doing largely the same thing and just offering us a little bit more depth and a little bit more character on its own. We got hats over the top. The hats are a pretty complex movement here. We just have them doing a whole bunch of different stuff, some trills, but mainly like 16th notes across the board. We added in the open hats here. On top of that, we got our clap. It's huge. It's got a whole bunch of reverb on it. There's a lot of energy now that's kind of introduced into the mix. We have a percussion loop in here as well, which has some kind of like gated and phased chorused shakers and rim shots and reverses and stuff that are all kind of sitting in the background here. Again, just building a little bit more nuance and movement. Some of the most important layers that you hear here are like cinematic drums and drumline snares. So I have a drumline rim shot that comes in. I think it's like the 2 and the 4. There's a drumline rim shot and a heavy kick on separate tracks here that's giving us a lot more texture in here. Bunch of reverb on the rim as well. Two other really important elements would be some cinematic drums that we bring in there as well. These are some of the fillers. You get some toms, you get some extra snares in there. Again, very drumline, cinematic feel, all with a pretty big pop edge to it, being that that's kind of the structure of the song. And then one of my favorite parts is the drumline snare. The drumline snare kind of keeps the rhythm going. You have like 16ths on there with some other rolls and flams that keep it feeling, you know, busy and noisy, but also just kind of supporting the percussion structure. And all together, you get this. Such a cool feel. There's not too many other layers. There's some risers and some cymbals that hit every once in a while. There's a trumpet and a reverse trumpet here. So if you put these two together, these are actually from the Triton LE that's behind me. This little guy back here. But the Triton LE gives us these little trumpet stabs. Little auto pan on there. I believe that's an H delay. And that's just a bit of an accent, but for this breakdown, that's largely it. The main instrumental part that's not percussion is really just a couple layers for the verse. It's a double tracked acoustic guitar and electric guitar. So here's the acoustic. Mic'd slightly different melodic structure there. Electric guitar, kind of a similar thing happening, working more towards the harmony there. I'm going to switch to this side. That's the electric guitar. Right side. Third note harmony. And all together you have. Underneath that, I have a monopoly. It's a Korg synth. Monopoly is doing kind of a pluck, kind of the same thing. This one also has some chorus on it. I'll play that on its own for a second. You can hear what it's doing in the mix. A little oversaturated. You get some chorus there. It's a little crunchy. And there's all of that together. I'll play through the hook here really quick. The hook over here is where we'll introduce a couple other elements into the mix. I changed the progression for the guitars to kind of match the movement of the bass, which is in a different progression. It's not the same progression as the intro and verse. And this is kind of an interesting thing. I played both of those double tracks of the acoustic guitar on the verse, and then I just sampled that for the hook and chopped it up to create the other progression. You'll hear some like chops in there, dun, 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 just because I'm kind of replaying that and kind of chopping it up to create a different progression for the hook. So I'll play all the guitars together, and you can hear how they all, and the monopoly, you can hear how they all fit in. slightly different movement. I think we have a Juno 60, one's a 106, one's a 60, one's doing bass, one handling a little bit more of a lead line. Then we have an 808 in there as well, and the 808 is just kind of hitting underneath. Just progression following. And then we've got the big Juno bass. It's growly, it's nasty. I like it though. And then we've got the Juno over the top. Some of these layers are really subtle, like the monopoly is really subtle. The 808 is kind of just the attack of the Juno in there. So we have that growl from the Juno. I just want the 808 to be like the pulse to start that line when it's happening. But not everything's super, super forward or super, super dynamic. I'm just trying to allow each of these acoustic and electric and synthesized layers do exactly what I want them to do in the mix without being too muddy. And again, with everything in outside of the vocals, you get this pretty big sound. Everything kind of in its place. It's got a ton of energy to it. On the vocal side, we have a balance between 2 different choir layers and then the lead vocal layer as well. So that once you bring in the choir layer and the lead vocal, you obviously get a lot more energy. Now let's play through this hook and see where it's at.
It's time to change the world. Let's be the change. Light it up like the sun. Let's rearrange. Come together now. We shine so bright. Be light. Love's our fight.
There we go. Those choirs turned out awesome. Beautiful.